Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your April 2021 general readings. We're looking at the first half of April, so from the 1st through the 15th. This reading is for the earth sign of Taurus. Welcome everyone. I hope you're all doing well and safe and healthy where you're at. Thanks for taking the time to tune in to my YouTube channel and watch these videos, and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you're so inclined. Thanks for all the support, donations, feedback, comments. It's all greatly welcomed and appreciated. Thank you. So this reading is for the earth sign of Taurus for the first 2 weeks of April 2021. That's if your sun, moon, rising, or Venus is in Taurus. It's also relevant if you're cross-watching for a Taurian as well. But of course, being a general reading, it's going to resonate differently in details for each individual. And you all have your own individual life stories. So watch all of your signs for additional insight and perspective. And if you do find that any of the readings resonate with you and you'd like to reach out for a personal reading, maybe take a deeper look at something, you can get my contact info by clicking on the description link below, that little arrow. You'll see my email address there, Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I'd be delighted to hear from you and to work with you. I do offer a wide variety of readings, and I can usually respond with information within the same day. And as I do readings full time, I'm pretty diligent about scheduling those personal readings in as timely a fashion as possible. So email me if you're interested. I'd be most happy to hear from you. Okay, Taurus, let's see what the first 2 weeks of April have in store for you. I am using the Tarot of Dreams and clarifying with one of the Gilded Tarots. Okay, Taurus, we begin with the moon, followed by death, the Page of Swords, followed by faith, which is also known as the Hierophant in other decks, strength, followed by you, the King of Coins, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. And from the bottom of the deck, I'm going to keep that. We representing overall energy and focus for the first 2 weeks of April. We have the Two of Swords, and the Lovers wanted to come out with that as well. So I can already see, Taurus, for many of you, and like a lot of the signs, there seems to be a lot of energy right now focused in the relationship area of our life, whether it's love and romance or other types of relationship energy. And that's what this looks like for you. It looks like you're feeling stuck as to whether or not a relationship is going to come to an end. For some of you, you might be on one side of this fence or the other. It might be, that a partnership or relationship is breaking up. It might have been initiated by your partner. For some of you, you may be kind of at this kind of stuck place of wondering if you should end something or not, or make a decision to do that. For some of you, it might be a third-party situation, which the Lovers can sometimes represent. At the Two of Swords, this is the overall energy. Two of Swords, feeling stuck, feeling blindfolded, not knowing where to go, and maybe a certain amount of reluctance and a resistance to look at something head on. Because if you do, then, you can't unsee things. You need to make a choice or take action, which is what the Lovers represents too. It represents a relationship that's at a crossroads, and a decision needs to be made as to what's going to happen to this relationship. The Moon represents, a lack of total clarity, because even though there's light from the moon, it reflects the light of the sun. So there's a lot of shadows and, hidden recesses and corners, and you don't know what's in there. And there's a sense of, even though there's a sense of visceral stirring, it can also prompt fears, because things aren't exactly clear. But something is kind of tugging at you. And with the moon is death, which represents complete endings or utter transformations. So do I end this? Can this be fixed? What decision do I make? And then next we have the Page of Swords. Pages can represent young people or children. Here it represents a message, because they are messengers. Page of Swords is the page of air, conversation, information, a message. Faith. This card in other decks is known as the Hierophant, but the artist Ciro Marchetti in this particular deck wanted to, I think, move a little bit away from portraying something or someone that specifically belongs to a certain specific conventional religious path. So here it literally represents the ideology of faith itself, of trusting in something. So this might be a message or a conversation about is there still enough to have faith left in this connection? We'll clarify it. And then we have Strength and the King of Coins, you, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, or Rising. For some of you, it might be another person involved in this. That's an Earth sign. And Strength represents taking a look at everything, looking at something head on, taking a look at your fears, doubts, insecurities, maybe the part that you had to play in this, facing your fears, whatever your fears or insecurities are in this situation. Regardless of, I mean, of course it's a general reading, so the details are going to vary, but fundamentally the energy remains the same. There's some kind of relationship that's at a crossroads. For many of you, it's like a love romance relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife. There's a lack of clarity as to whether something is going to end, needs to end, or if it really has ended. There's conversations about it. And then there's actually taking a look at the reality of it and making a decision based on that. So let's clarify death. Judgment, another major crossroads cards, which implies a decision needing to be made, a choice needing to be made. There's an air of finality about Judgment, meaning that whatever you say, don't say, choose to do, course of action is going to be final. You're not going to be able to reverse it, so choose carefully. But it also represents being at a crossroads and being called to act, to make a decision, to speak. The Seven of Pentacles, taking stock, taking inventory, looking at the time, effort, love, money, whatever you've invested in this, and trying to make decisions based on that. The Seven of Wands, which is a defensive card. It's a card that speaks of defending or standing up for that which you have a lot into, whether it's yourself or ideologies or an actual home. Here it's likely a relationship. There's crossroads energy all over this, Taurus. Do I stay? Do I go? Should I end this? Are they ending it? Is this really over? Clarify the Page of Swords. What message or conversation is this? This is more a message. Might be for some of you that you or the other person is saying, well, I don't know. Let's clarify. What is the Page of Swords bringing? One just fell right out. The Eight of Cups. I'm leaving. The Two of Cups, the traditional soulmate kindred spirit card. Yeah, I'm getting both sides of the story here, meaning that for some of you, it's Taurus that's actually saying, I'm leaving, I need to leave. Others of you, it might be the other person saying they're leaving. Some of you, it might be a third-party situation and somebody feels they've found their soulmate and so they're leaving because of that. Whatever the relationship is, Taurus, that this is centered on, even if it's a third-party situation, I'm getting kind of the sense here that this connection, this relationship, isn't going to go through a healing process. It doesn't feel like, it feels like whoever's being left behind, I mean, whatever is ending, whichever relationship is ending, it feels, to me, this feels like an ending that's almost inevitable. And perhaps that's what the strength and the King of Coins is about. Because strength is about having the courage to, look at something head on, look at everything about it, and face that and move through that, which it does look like you're doing. Because it feels like in the beginning, and of course we're only looking at a short period of time, 2 weeks. In the beginning, there's like this crossroads, stuck energy. What do I do? Is this person leaving? Am I leaving? Is this really over? And some doubt and uncertainty about that. Can this be fixed? Should I try and defend it or hold on to it? But then here in the middle, we have what feels to me like a very definitive statement that somebody's saying they're leaving. They're leaving because I feel like this faith card here represents a lack of faith. Yeah, I just was shuffling for faith, and we have the King of Pentacles again, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, and the Seven of Cups in reverse. In the upright, it's believing in the best of everything, looking at all the best possible options. In the reverse, it's kind of like the illusion being burst, or realizing that none of these things are really going to turn out to be the perfect, great thing. So this is more about a loss of faith in something, or looking at something and actually taking a look at the fact that it's broken and that it can't be repaired. I mean, it's sad and it feels sad, but there's almost a sense of inevitability that I'm getting, and it does look like that is faced in the end, something coming to an end. To me, especially looking at all the cards, the Two of Cups and the Lovers, for many of you, it is likely a romantic relationship that is ending. Even if it's a third-party relationship and the person that you're going to is your soulmate, there's still somebody being left behind here. And the feeling that regardless of the amount of time that's been invested in it, it's futile to continue to invest in it. I'm curious. Let me see with the original deck I pulled what the very next card would be. The Tower. So complete destruction, the Tower coming down once and for all. Yeah, and that's kind of what I'm getting, a sense of inevitability as to, what is being considered as to whether it should be finally left behind or finally ended. That's what it looks like. So let me just pull an advice card for Taurus. What should they focus on? What's the best thing to do? Not the brightest and happiest of readings, of course. Sometimes they're not, because life is like that. Relationships sometimes do end. And there's that sense of kind of heavy sadness about that. But underneath that, I'm also picking up from you, from the Taurian energy, that, yeah, this isn't, I need to do this. Or this isn't, even if they're the ones that initiated it, you're kind of like, yeah, this needs to happen. Death, yeah, final endings. So didn't we have death here? Yeah, we have death twice. And a pretty profound ending and changing and moving on too, because we have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and with death twice, 7 major arcana cards. So there's a real strong finality about this. Anything else for Taurus? It doesn't feel like it is. If this is something that you initiated, Taurus, it feels like, as difficult or sad as it might be, it's the right thing to do. And even if it was initiated by another person or the other person, again, it's the same thing. It feels like this really needs to happen, because the Tower, even if we don't initiate it, this is something that has to happen. the Tower isn't about fixing something or repairing something that's broken. It can't be. There's some flaw in this Tower fundamentally, as strong and sturdy and long lasting as it looks. That is wrong. So it's the Tower, it's not about something coming in and fixing something that's broken in a drastic way. This is about, the Tower completely coming down so that you can go off and find a new one or build something that's actually more in alignment with who you are. The Eight of Wands, last card. So this is about movement forward. This is about proceeding. This is the Eight of Fire. So it's about conversations and activity and movement forward and travel. So yeah, this feels very much like a need to, kind of have to, kind of essential ending and moving on. So if any of you had doubts, because it looks like you did in the beginning here with the Moon and Death, if you're doing the right thing, or if this is really what needs to happen here, it feels quite definite that it is. So in that sense, even though it hasn't been the most unicorny, rainbowy, Skittles kind of reading, I hope that it's been clarifying and that it kind of gives that clarification and that validation. So in that sense, I hope this reading helps. It's not one of those readings where I can say, I hope you enjoyed this reading, because this looks like a relationship ending. It feels like a relationship ending, and it feels like it needs to, even though it's kind of sad and heavy. And, I'm sure all of us at least once in our life has gone through something like this. So if there's any doubts about it, I hope this reading has cleared it up, and I hope it's been helpful in that sense. Again, if any of you are interested in maybe taking a deeper look at something, reaching out for a personal reading, feel free to email me directly at Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I'd be delighted to hear from you and to work with you. I will see you all again in a couple of weeks for the April mid-month readings. Until then, stay safe and well, be blessed and strong, and I hope to see you back here again soon. Bye-bye.